Hi, my name is Michael Karras. I've raised over $4 million in private funding from real estate investing using a strategy I call virtual wealth flipping, where I buy a property for $30,000 as is virtually. I don't even set foot in it. I don't rehab it. I don't do anything to the property. Then I immediately sell it as is to someone who has not so good credit or who's tired of renting for $130,000. I'll get 6,000 down, then I'll finance them the remaining balance at a 10% interest rate over 30 years. So I collect a monthly cash flow. So I'm like a bank, and acquire these properties. I've raised money from others to purchase them. So I've done well over 70 of these. I currently have 60 properties, and I've been teaching students how to do this for the last 6 months. So I've raised over $4 million in private funding, and in talking with real estate investors, one of the biggest things that I hear them say is, "Oh, I don't know how to raise money. I don't have access to capital." It's their biggest challenge. So I want to provide you guys the 7 things that I've learned after raising $4 million over the last 4 million years. Excuse me, over the last 4 years. So the first thing that I've learned is the deal brings the money. The deal brings the money. I remember when I first got started in wholesaling, my brother had already got his feet wet in real estate investing. He was telling me, "Mike, you'll be great at this, right? With your digital marketing background, you know how to market for good deals. You should do wholesaling." I was like, "Okay, what if I find a good deal? What if I can't find an end buyer?" And the first thing he said was like, "Mike, don't worry about the money. The deal will bring the money." And after 4 or 5 years of real estate investing experience, that's exactly the truth. I've never raised money and then went and got a deal. I've only been able to raise that 4 million because I had $4 million worth of deals to take to people. Right. Every time I went and got a deal under contract, I was always able to find the money because it was a good deal. Right. So the deal brings the money. Number two, you only need a handful of lenders. Again, I learned this from a more senior real estate investor at the time, and he wasn't lying, right? What happens is when you get that first lender, they usually have more money than they lead on, and they're going to test you, right? So they're going to lend you a little bit of their money, and if you perform well and if you do good, then they're going to open up the floodgates and give you a little bit more and introduce you to other friends who may want to lend with you as well. So you only need a handful of lenders is so true. And it's so easy to build a network of them once you kind of understand some of these principles. Right. Number three, we all have access to at least $100,000 in our immediate network. I teach my students every day that with this little device, right? All you need to do is bring them a deal. There are people within your immediate network who have money sitting in the 401k or a self directed IRA, or who has ran into money that they cannot use. But you have never reached out to them to present a deal to them. And they've never had you reach out to them to let you know that they had money to spend. Right. So we all have access to millions of, excuse me, $100,000 in our immediate network. Again, we just haven't been taught how to tap into that network. Right. I had another example for myself. I was working for a company, Fortune 500 company, and as soon as I got to a point where I was going to leave because real estate investing had taken off, my immediate manager lent on my deal. The entire time she had so much money that she was ready to disperse, but because I never communicated to her that I had that opportunity, and she never knew that I had an opportunity that she could take advantage of, the whole time she had money that she could have lent on my deals. And she sent has lent on deals, and it's been an awesome relationship. All right. Lesson number four that I've learned: there are millions and millions and millions of money available looking for someone to deploy it, right? Similar to the experience that I had with my manager at the time when I was working, we just don't know how to tap into this money, right? So it's not a, and because of where we come from, we sometimes come from a place of lack. But once we change our mindset and understand that there is money out there, we just need to find it. And the best way to find it is to have a great deal that will help you attract it, right? Number five, short, sweet, and to the point. What I mean by this is when you present an opportunity to someone, far gone is the far gone is the opportunity or the time where you need to um, create a 2 hour long presentation or hour and a half presentation talking about your deal, right? It's not 1985. It's 2025. We have a very short attention span. This video that I'm recording may be a bit too long. All right, but if you can do a great job of really communicating within 5 to 10 minutes who you are, what you've done, what the deal is, why it's a great deal, how they make money, and how you limit their risk, you will be 10 steps ahead of most people when it comes to presenting an opportunity to someone and potentially getting them to lend you the money. Number 6, you don't ask people for money, you ask who do they know. This has been so powerful over the last 4 years for me once I understood and started leveraging this concept, is that you don't ask people for money. Hey, who do you know that would love to earn 12% on a deal like this? You hope that they're going to raise their hand and say, I would love to earn 12% on this. But most of the time, they may not be in a position, they may not think it's the right fit for them, but they may know someone who is a right fit for. And this is how you slowly grow your network of potential people working with you. I have a list of over 200 people that I share what I'm doing, the deals that I'm done, case studies, the money that I'm making, because I'm priming them. And I know eventually one day they're going to say, you know what, Michael's been doing this for about 4 or 5 years. Let me see what he has going on there. Maybe I can earn some money with him. Okay. Very powerful. And then number 7, the most important one, become the person that people want to give money to. Become the person that people want to give money to. Oftentimes, I'll use me as an example. 6-7 years ago, I wasn't the same person I am today, right? I constantly worked on my mindset. I constantly read certain books on personal development. I constantly invested in myself on education, on things that I wanted to learn. And I was slowly becoming the type of individual that someone wanted to give their money to, right? So sometimes we do have to work on ourselves. We do have to improve ourselves. We do have to change who we are internally in order to change the things externally. So those are the top 7 things that I've learned after raising over $4 million in private funding. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about my strategy, or you are having some challenges when it comes to real estate investing or when it comes to raising money, feel free to reach out to me, schedule a time with me. Let's talk. Let's see if and how we can help. Talk soon.